Okay guys, this is the test for the literal equations. I was going to use my pen, but I left it at school, so I have to use the mouse. So work with me, bear with me. I want to make sure we start our new topic of literal equations. If you pull the file from Edmodo, this is what you're going to see first. Solving literal equations. Literal equations are equations with multiple variables where you're asked to solve for just one of the variables. So simply we're just talking about equations with letters. All the same rules apply: multiply, add, divide, and subtract. But the whole idea first is we want to get anything we're looking for by itself on the left hand side. I'm going to try this with the mouse and let's see what happens. Let's say you had an equation f equals ma, and you wanted to solve this guy for f. Obviously f is already by itself, so let's solve it for a. A lot of times you see in parentheses telling you what to solve for. So what I like to do, anything I have that has a in it, I'm just going to bring it across the bridge. I could use a symmetric property and simply switch it, but I don't want any confusion right now, so I'm going to bring it across the bridge. It became negative because it crossed the bridge. The f crossed the bridge. Notice this is one term. One term is connected. So you have to carry that m with it. We're going to change the sign of both sides. Next step is going to be now divided by m. And you know what the favorite saying is: bam bam, kill the m's. We're left with a equals f over m. Always ask yourself, does it meet this criteria? Is the letter I'm looking for, variable I'm looking for, on the left hand side by itself and positive? That was pretty straightforward. So let's go on and see if we get some bigger ones. I'm really particular about you understanding all these equations going to come up in life later. So we just go ahead and use them and look at the different ones. Everything has different purposes. Some of them you may recognize, like perimeter. Some of them you might not. So let's grab one of these simple ones first. Look at number 27. I want to solve. That is called kinetic energy. Let me get me a new screen real quick. Bear with me. File, new. Alrighty, cooking with grease. I'm going to use something called K equals 1/2 mv squared. That stands for kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 the mass times the velocity squared. Notice, let's solve this guy here for m. So that means this is one term. Bless you. That was the wife sneezing in the background. My bad. If you notice right here, what do you see on the bottom? A 2. Who gets a 2? Everybody gets a 2. Bam, 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 bam. Right? We now have 2k equals mv squared. I got the f out of here. I'm going to use the symmetric property, which just switch it around. Since I'm looking for my m, I know it's rough writing, but I don't have my pen. I left it at school. I'm going to divide by m. Sorry, divide by v squared. Since we want the m by itself, we're going to divide by everything else we see. Bam, bam. Therefore, m equals 2k over v squared. A lot of you guys are skipping this step. Make sure you show that step. Got it? That step right. Whoa, that's the eraser. Sorry. Edit, undo. I'm trying to highlight it, but I can't see my highlighter, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay? Now, let's try one more interesting one. Let's go with that old famous perimeter equation. Anybody remember? P equals what? 2L plus 2W. Boy, that's a pitiful looking L. Let's try that again. P equals 2L plus 2W. I'm solving this guy for L. So that means I'm going to bring the L across the bridge. 2L equals 2W minus P. That's a red light. That's what Mr. Smith would say. That becomes minus 2w. Who gets changed? Everybody gets changed. Why? Because you can't discriminate. Now we're going to divide this by 2, divide this guy by 2, divide this guy by 2. I like to give everybody their own 2. Minus w plus 1/2 over in front of p. That is because, notice, the coefficient right here is a 1. Therefore, it's 1/2 p. You've got 2 terms. You still got 2 terms. Okay, let's leave that there for now for just a second. I'll be right back.